Good morning, BookTube. Ooh, that's hot. I wanted to discuss a book that I just finished reading, and this is it, Robert D. Richardson. It's Three Roads Back, How Emerson, Thoreau, and William James Responded to the Greatest Losses of Their Lives. Now, Robert Richardson wrote some really well-known biographies, one on Emerson. I think it was A Mind on Fire. They probably list them here. And that I read and really enjoyed and learned a lot from. And then he did Thoreau, Henry Thoreau, Life of the Mind, which was really wonderful. And then he did a third one, William James, in the Maelstrom of American Modernism, which I just hauled a copy of and I have not read. But this is a short thing. It was written right before Richardson himself died. And it deals with just what it says it does, how these three people who all knew each other at one level or another dealt with, horrific setbacks and loss. And Emerson, at one point in this volume, actually visits the home of William James. He was a contemporary of William's father. William's brother, of course, is Henry James, a novelist. And William James was a psychologist and a philosopher, and he wrote The Varieties of Religious Experience and other things like that. So he was from a very famous family, obviously. Emerson leads off these stories, and he loses his son, Waldo, at a very young age. This has an impact on Thoreau also, because Thoreau lived right down the street from him in Concord, Mass. Thoreau loses his brother, older brother, by 3 or 4 years, and his brother had always been sickly, but his brother actually got a cut on his finger shaving, I believe. They used straight razors back then, and it turned to gangrene and tetanus, and it was a pretty horrible death. Emerson lost his first wife. She was 19 years old when she died. And then William James lost a family friend, a woman named Minnie, and her death affected him and Henry. Henry James wrote about it late in life, and she was a very dynamic human being and a great loss to both of them. So you would think this would be a depressing book. And of course, all that stuff is sad, but it's not written that way. It's their resilience, how they turned that loss and made it part of their lives. They had to deal with it, obviously, but how they used it to fuel change in their own lives. To me, of the three, the most interesting story is the Emerson story. Thoreau, a close second. The William James, and it has a bit about Henry in here too. I thought that was less. It's not less convincing. It had a less of an impact in the book. So I don't know. The first two sections were very strong. The third part was okay. So it's a book I'd recommend. Short read. I read it early in the morning. How many pages is it here? Including the index and everything, it's 108 pages. And it's pretty new. I think it just came out. But it is worth, 2023. From the estate of Robert D. Richardson. It has a foreword by Megan Marshall, and she is the Pulitzer Prize winning author of Margaret Fuller, A New American Life. So an interesting little bit of, I guess it's Americana in a way, and an interesting look at how these three important people dealt with loss, but uneven in strength. So I would recommend it, and I did enjoy it. So I hope all of you are doing well, and I'm going to get back to work. This is a Tuesday at the library, and we're closed during the summer on Tuesdays, so this is a time for me to do paperwork and catch up on all sorts of stuff. So it's a nice, quiet place. So maybe I'll even do some reading. So be well, BookTube.